Beloved chosen one, listen carefully. This is not coincidence. The fact that you are hearing these words right now is proof that heaven has interrupted your routine to speak directly to your spirit. There is a stirring, a divine pause in the noise around you. Everything slows because God is drawing your attention. You feel it, the weight of something unseen pressing against your heart, whispering that you are not ordinary. You were never meant to disappear into the crowd. You have tried to explain it before. The sense that you are different, that you carry something heavy yet sacred inside you. The world calls it sensitivity, intuition, or overthinking, but heaven calls it purpose. You are marked. You have always been marked. Destiny did not begin when you chose God, it began when God chose you. Every sleepless night, every heartbreak, every strange delay that made no sense at the time was part of a larger orchestration. You thought life was falling apart, but it was actually falling into alignment. The shaking you feel is not punishment, it is divine movement. Something ancient is awakening within you, something that has been waiting for this very moment to emerge. You may ask, why me? Why the isolation? Why the pain? Why the silence of heaven when you cried out for answers? Because you are not just being called to survive, you are being called to lead. You are not being trained for comfort, but for conquest. God hides his strongest soldiers in the shadows before revealing them to the world. The delay was protection. The rejection was redirection. You see now, don't you? The moments that broke you were not accidents. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every unanswered prayer was a brick in the foundation of your calling. You are the living proof that heaven can turn ashes into authority. The very tears that once seemed wasted were watering the soil of your destiny. You are not behind. You are right on time. Heaven is calling your name with intensity, not to scare you, but to awaken you. You have spent years fighting battles that seemed unfair, but that's because you were never meant to fight small wars. The attacks were prophetic. They revealed the size of your purpose. The enemy always strikes hardest against what he fears most, and he fears you. Chosen one, even now, your spirit trembles because it recognizes truth. Deep down, you know this isn't just another motivational message, it is a summons. God is declaring that the season of delay is over. The chains of confusion are breaking. You are stepping into alignment with your divine script. So stop doubting your worth. You were not overlooked, you were hidden. You were not forgotten, you were being fortified. Destiny doesn't ask for your permission, it demands your participation. And right now, heaven is waiting for your response. Lift your head, chosen one. The storm did not destroy you, it refined you. The silence did not kill your faith, it purified it. You stand at the threshold of the life you were always meant to live. The time for questioning has ended. The time for obedience has begun. Do not scroll past this moment. It is not random that you are here. You are standing in the middle of prophecy fulfilled. This is not an accident, this is divine alignment. You can't escape destiny because destiny isn't chasing you, it's calling you home. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. If this word is striking your spirit, don't stay silent. Type 77 in the comments as a prophetic act that you hear heaven's call. Then, like, share, and subscribe because this is just the beginning. You are stepping into the chapter where your purpose is revealed, and your obedience will open doors no man can shut. You were marked before birth. Long before you could speak your first word or take your first breath, heaven had already whispered your name. Before your parents met, before your story began on earth, It was already written in heaven's scroll. You are not a random result of circumstance. You are divine intention wrapped in human form. Everything about you, the way you feel deeply, the way you question reality, the way you carry invisible weight, was designed for purpose. Somewhere in eternity, before time began ticking, your destiny was sealed. God spoke, and your existence became necessary. Every detail about you, every quirk and flaw you thought disqualified you, was part of a holy blueprint. You are not just alive, you were sent. And when heaven sends someone, it is for a reason greater than survival. You were placed here to shift atmospheres, to interrupt generational curses, to break cycles that held others captive for centuries. You were not born into ease, you were born into assignment. That's why the warfare against your life started early. The attacks began before you even knew how to pray, because darkness recognized what you carried. You are a threat to the kingdom of darkness simply by existing. That's why confusion, loneliness, and rejection found you so young. But through every storm, God was guarding something precious inside you, the seed of destiny. There were moments when you wondered if you would make it, when the pain became too heavy and the silence of God felt unbearable. Yet even in those dark moments, heaven never lost sight of you. The angels kept record of every tear, every sigh, every cry that went unanswered. You thought no one saw, but heaven saw it all. The Spirit knew that in order for your purpose to be revealed, certain things had to be stripped away. Comfort had to die so that calling could live. Relationships had to end so that revelation could begin. God did not abandon you. He was positioning you. He was pruning away the things that would not survive where you are going. Even now, your spirit remembers something your mind cannot fully explain. You have always sensed that there is something different about you, something holy and dangerous at the same time. You don't fit in because you were never meant to blend in. The world cannot comprehend the language of heaven that you carry in your soul. You were crafted for a divine assignment that only you can fulfill. There are people waiting for your obedience. There are chains that will only break when you step into your calling. There are prayers others have whispered that will be answered through your yes. You were not chosen to be famous. You were chosen to be faithful. The glory you carry is not for your recognition. It is for the revelation of God's power through your life. When you look back, you'll realize how even your mistakes were woven into the plan. Every detour, every failure, every time you thought you had missed your chance, it was still leading you back to destiny. God wastes nothing. Every wound becomes wisdom. Every scar becomes testimony. You are living proof that divine purpose cannot be destroyed by human weakness. Lift your eyes, chosen one. The reason you survived everything that tried to destroy you is because heaven refused to cancel your assignment. You were carried through fire not to burn but to shine. You are the evidence that what is marked by God cannot be erased by man. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 4. For he chose us in him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in his sight. That verse is not about someone else, it is about you. Before creation itself, you were chosen. Before sin, before struggle, before shame, there was already a plan for your redemption and your glory. Heaven has always seen you as beloved, as destined, as essential to the unfolding of God's story. You may still be in hiding, still in preparation, but do not mistake the silence of God for his absence. The seed is quiet while it grows underground. What you can't see yet is being formed in secret. The time of unveiling will come, and when it does, every question will make sense. You'll understand that nothing was wasted, not a single day. Chosen one, Breathe this truth in deeply. You are not late, not lost, not forgotten. You are right where destiny intends you to be, standing on holy ground written for your feet since before the world began. The weight of awakening is not gentle. When you begin to remember who you truly are, the world around you starts to tremble. Familiar places no longer feel comfortable, and people who once understood you now look at you with confusion. This is not rejection, it is revelation. The moment you awaken, everything that was meant to keep you asleep begins to resist. Darkness knows that once you awaken to your divine identity, you can no longer be controlled. Chosen one, you have been feeling it, this stirring, this discomfort, this silent earthquake within your soul. It is not depression, though it may feel like heaviness. It is not confusion, though your mind has been spinning. It is the pressure of transformation. Your old self is being peeled away so your true nature can rise. The shaking in your spirit is heaven breaking the shell of limitation that once held you bound. Awakening costs comfort. It demands separation. It removes illusions and forces truth into the open. You are beginning to see with eyes that are not of this world. You are sensing things before they happen, feeling burdens that aren't yours, and dreaming of things that make no logical sense. Do not be afraid. This is what happens when your spirit begins to synchronize with divine frequency. The world will call you strange. People will label your silence as distance, your passion as obsession, your faith as foolishness. But you must remember, those who are chosen are rarely understood by the crowd. You carry heavenly codes that earthly minds cannot decode. And though you may walk alone for a while, you are never truly alone. Heaven walks with you, guiding every step, even when you cannot see the path. In the nights when the silence screams and your heart aches for understanding, know this: the pressure you feel is proof of potential. Diamonds form only under weight. You are being refined for revelation. Every moment of confusion is birthing clarity, and every ounce of pain is producing power. You are awakening, not by accident, but by divine timing. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 30. And those he predestined, he also called. Those he called, he also justified. Those he justified, he also glorified. You see, the process you're enduring is not punishment, it's promotion. The calling on your life comes with refining, and the refining comes with resistance. But resistance is proof that something within you is growing stronger. The light in you is too powerful to remain hidden beneath the dust of doubt. There will be moments when you wish you could return to ignorance, when you long for the simplicity of who you were before this awakening began. But once the veil lifts, you cannot unsee. Once you taste truth, imitation no longer satisfies. You were designed to operate in higher realms of awareness, and heaven will not let you shrink back into smallness. Do not despise this season of stretching. Every divine awakening begins with discomfort, like a seed bursting through the soil. You must break before you bloom. The breaking is not your end, it is your beginning. The pressure is not your punishment, it is your push. Look around you, nothing fits the way it used to. Conversations feel empty, habits feel hollow, and dreams you once had seem too small. This is the sign. Heaven is enlarging your vision. You are outgrowing the old world because you were never meant to stay there. So breathe. Chosen one. Let the tears fall if they must. Let the process unfold. What is awakening inside you is far greater than the pain around you. You are not losing your mind. You are regaining your purpose. You are not breaking down. You are breaking free. The resistance you feel is your confirmation. Hell does not fight what is not a threat, And the fact that you are feeling this pressure means that darkness has identified you as dangerous. That alone should make you stand taller. Now, in this very moment, do something prophetic. Type "I am ready" in the comments. Let it be your declaration that you accept this awakening fully, that you will no longer resist what heaven is doing inside you. Say it not as a phrase, but as a covenant. By writing it, you are aligning your spirit with divine timing, acknowledging that what is unfolding in you is sacred and unstoppable. Chosen one, remember, awakening is not the end of your peace, it is the beginning of your power. The world may not understand you now, but soon, even those who doubted will see that your awakening was never madness, it was destiny. The war in the shadows has been raging longer than you've been alive. You entered this world already carrying the mark of heaven. And because of that, darkness took notice. It watched you from the beginning, waiting for moments of weakness, seeking opportunities to plant fear and doubt in your heart. The battles you have faced were not random, they were coordinated attacks from realms unseen. Every sleepless night, every sudden wave of despair, every inexplicable delay, these were not coincidences. They were the footprints of an invisible war. Chosen one, you have felt this war. The tension between what you know you are called to do and the forces that try to stop you. The enemy cannot erase your destiny, but he will do everything to distract you from it. He uses exhaustion to silence your prayer, confusion to blur your vision, and fear to paralyze your obedience. Yet through it all, something in you refuses to die. That something is divine fire, heaven's mark upon your soul. There are moments when you sense darkness closing in. You can almost feel the spiritual weight pressing down, whispering lies that you are not enough, that you are forgotten, that you should give up. But listen carefully, lies always reveal what the enemy fears most. If he tells you you're weak, it's because he knows your strength. If he tells you you're alone, it's because he senses angelic presence surrounding you. Every attack is evidence that you carry something worth stealing. This war isn't fought with weapons of the flesh, but with the power of truth. Your prayers are arrows. Your worship is warfare. Every time you speak life instead of despair, you push back the darkness. Every act of kindness, every word of forgiveness, every moment of faith, it all shakes the unseen realm. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. The cross has already sealed your triumph, and the blood has already declared you free. But make no mistake, the war is real. It's in the temptations that try to lure you back to old patterns, in the heaviness that falls without warning, in the sudden chaos that erupts just when peace begins to form. The enemy cannot touch your destiny, but he can try to distort your focus. That's why you must stay alert, not fearful alert. You are light, and light must always be aware of where it shines. The voice of God thundered in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Let that sink deep into your spirit. You are not at war with people. Your battle is not with them, it's with what moves through them. When someone betrays you, when someone lies about you, it is not them that truly wages war. It is the darkness that fears the light within you. That realization should free your heart. You don't need revenge. You need revelation. Because once you understand who the real enemy is, your strategy changes from anger to authority. This awareness transforms everything. Suddenly, every challenge becomes training. Every obstacle becomes opportunity, and every delay becomes divine discipline. Heaven is teaching your hands to war, not in bitterness, but in brilliance. You are being trained to see beyond the surface. Where others see chaos, you will discern purpose. Where others collapse, you will stand. There are hidden victories happening even now. The fact that you're still standing after everything that came against you is not ordinary, it's supernatural. You've been hit, but not destroyed. Wounded, but still moving. Pressed, but never crushed. The enemy aimed to silence you, but instead he awakened you. Chosen one. This is why you must not retreat. The darkness fears your persistence. Every time you rise again, heaven rejoices because another testimony is being written through you. Your scars are not symbols of defeat. They are the marks of a warrior who has survived the shadows. You were chosen for this very battlefield. God trusted you with this fight because He already equipped you for victory. The more intense the war, the greater the revelation that follows. Stand firm, even when you can't see the end. The light that burns within you is greater than the darkness that surrounds you. The war in the shadows is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to reveal you. For when you fight in the unseen, heaven sees, and when heaven sees, victory is assured. There comes a moment when the voice that calls you out grows louder than the noise of the world. You've heard it before, soft at first, like a whisper threading through the wind, then growing stronger until it echoes in your very bones. It is not imagination. It is the sound of destiny calling your name through the static of life. You've run from it, haven't you? Tried to drown it out with work, distractions, even prayer that avoided real surrender. But destiny doesn't shout to control you, it calls to awaken you. Like the tide calling to the shore, it keeps returning, again and again, until you finally stop running and listen. That voice, the one that comes when everything else is quiet, is not your own. It's the sound of heaven reclaiming what belongs to it. The same voice that spoke light into existence is now speaking into you, commanding you to rise, to remember, to return to the truth of who you are. At first, you may resist. You may feel unworthy, too scarred, too far gone. But that's what makes this call sacred. It doesn't come to the perfect, it comes to the chosen. It doesn't look for qualification, it births it. You do not need to have it all together to answer. You simply need to say yes. This voice will not compete with your chaos. It waits for stillness. It hides in moments when you are on the edge of giving up. It appears when you think your prayers have gone unheard. That's when destiny whispers, "Get up." Not because everything is fine, but because something holy is waiting on the other side of your obedience. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Revelation, chapter 3, verse 20. "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and dine with him, and he with me." Do you hear that, chosen one? The Creator Himself stands at the door of your heart, not breaking it down, not forcing His way in, but gently knocking, inviting you into communion. This is not a demand, it is a divine offer, a call to intimacy, not duty. Imagine your heart as a house at night. The lights are dim, the curtains drawn, the world asleep. Outside, someone knocks not in anger, but with infinite patience. That knock carries eternity within it. When you open the door, light floods in, revealing what was hidden, healing what was broken. That's what it means to answer the call. You may feel the tremor of fear. What if I fail again? What if I'm not ready? But the truth is, readiness comes after obedience. You will never feel fully prepared, but heaven does not wait for perfection, it waits for willingness. You are not being called to religion, you are being called to relationship. The voice that calls you out knows your name, your pain, your history, your hesitations. Yet still it says, "Follow me." This is not a generic summons, it is deeply personal. When you answer, all of heaven leans in, all of heaven. And as you hear this, remember you are not alone in your journey. There are many others, silent but listening, feeling the same call, fighting the same battles. Together, you form an invisible army of light scattered across the earth. When one obeys, others are strengthened. When one surrenders, the chain of destiny moves forward. If these words are touching something sacred in you, let your heart stay open. Let this message be like a candle placed in your hand, something fragile yet powerful enough to pierce the night. Carry it carefully, and if it lights your path, then share that light. Share it not for fame, but for faith, not to promote a name, but to spread a flame. When you like, share, or subscribe, chart, you're not just supporting content, you're watering a movement. You're helping this voice reach the next weary soul standing on the same edge you once stood on. And if you ever feel led to donate, do it as a seed, an act of gratitude for the words that reminded you you're not forgotten. Every seed sustains the message so it can keep finding those who need it most. You are not giving to a person, you are feeding a purpose. You are keeping the torch burning for the next chosen one still searching for their light. So, as the voice calls you forward, take this moment in stillness. Feel the warmth in your chest, the quiet in your spirit. That is heaven knocking once again, reminding you that destiny is not far away, it's already inside you, waiting for your yes. When everything falls apart, it's easy to believe that God has turned his face away. You look around and see pieces of what once was, dreams shattered, relationships broken, plans undone, and you wonder, where is the promise? But what if the falling apart was never the end, only the beginning of divine rebuilding? What if the wreckage was actually the foundation for something eternal? Chosen one, heaven allows certain things to crumble not to destroy you, but to expose what was never meant to last. You prayed for strength, and God sent storms to reveal where you were anchored. You prayed for clarity, and he allowed confusion to clear away the false. You asked to be used, and he had to remove what was using you. This is the mystery of divine alignment sometimes. It looks like chaos before it becomes clarity. The loss you mourn may be the very tool God uses to position you. When the door slammed shut, when the friend walked away, when the plan fell apart, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Heaven does not waste heartbreak. Every broken piece becomes material in the hands of the Creator. You may not see it now, but the shaking was sacred. The ground had to move so that your roots could deepen. Pain became your teacher, and tears became your baptism into purpose. You've been through the valley. Yes, but valleys are where oil is pressed. The crushing produced something priceless inside you. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3. To grant to those who mourn in Zion, to give them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. There it is, beauty for ashes. The exchange has already been written into your story. What was taken from you will return, not as it was, but as it was meant to be. The ashes of disappointment will one day testify to the faithfulness of God. The very moments that broke you are the proof that you were being rebuilt. So breathe, let the tears fall, not in despair, but in surrender. What you lost was never meant to define you, it was meant to refine you. The storm didn't expose your weakness, it revealed your endurance. You are still standing. You are still breathing. That means heaven is not finished. Look closer. The fragments you see as failure are actually forming a mosaic of grace. The things that left you trembling are teaching you how to trust again. The unanswered prayers weren't ignored, they were rerouted to fit divine timing. What you thought was the end of your story is only the midpoint of a greater revelation. Sometimes, God dismantles your comfort to build your character. He lets what you depend on collapse so that you will depend only on Him. You may not understand the why, but faith doesn't demand explanation. It demands endurance. Chosen one, do not curse the season that broke you. Bless it, for it taught you how to see through heaven's eyes. It stripped you of pride and clothed you in humility. It emptied you so that glory could fill you. You are being rebuilt from the inside out. And though it hurts now, soon you'll realize it had to happen this way. The fire that surrounded you was never sent to consume you. It was sent to refine you. Like gold in the furnace, you were tested to reveal your true value. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every disappointment was the hammer that shaped your destiny. And when you emerge stronger, softer, wiser people will ask how you survived. You'll smile, because you'll know what they called failure was really formation. What they saw as destruction was actually divine construction. You may feel like everything has fallen apart, but heaven is whispering, "This is where I begin again." If your spirit feels this truth, type 999 in the comments right now. Let that number be a sign of divine completion, a prophetic act declaring that this painful chapter is closing and something new is being born. By writing it, you're saying, "I trust the process, even when I don't see the plan." Hold on, chosen one. The ashes beneath your feet are the soil of your next season. What looks like the end is only the start of your rising. You have walked through the fire, and though you did not understand it, the flames were never meant to destroy you, they were meant to reveal you. Every step through that valley, every sleepless night spent asking why, every unanswered prayer whispered through trembling lips was part of the refining. The gold that heaven has placed within you cannot be purified without heat. The greater the calling, the higher the temperature. Chosen one. Refinement is heaven's sacred alchemy. It takes the raw ore of your humanity, your fears, your failures, your flaws, and exposes them to divine pressure until only purity remains. It is not a punishment. It is a preparation. God does not refine the unchosen. He refines the marked. You were never being burned away. You were being revealed layer by layer until only authenticity remained. You see, refinement strips away the false versions of you, the one built from people's expectations, from comparison, from old wounds that once defined your worth. It forces you to confront yourself, to face what still needs healing. That's why it feels lonely sometimes. Because the fire isolates. When you are being refined, few can walk with you. Others might see smoke and think you are being consumed. But heaven knows that within those flames you are becoming light. The valley of refining is not meant to humiliate you, it's meant to humble you. It's where pride dies, where the illusion of control fades, and where dependence on God becomes your only language. It's in those moments when you finally stop striving and start surrendering that transformation begins. As the psalmist wrote in the book of Psalms, chapter 66, verse 10, "For you, O God, have tested us. You have refined us as silver is refined." That verse carries a weight of mercy hidden inside it. To be refined means to be trusted. God does not waste fire on the unfaithful. He entrusts it to those He intends to elevate. The testing was never meant to prove your weakness, it was meant to reveal your strength. You are still here because the fire did not destroy you. It only purified what was inside you. Every flame you faced carried divine instruction. When friends left, it taught you to depend on God's presence. When finances collapsed, it reminded you that heaven is your provider. When opportunities vanished, It forced you to remember that favor is not earned, it's given. Each pain served a purpose. Each loss was layered with hidden lessons. You may not see it now, but the fire has made you unrecognizable to the old version of yourself. You are softer, yet stronger, more compassionate, yet more discerning. The things that once triggered fear now awaken faith. The very wounds that used to bleed now speak wisdom. This is the evidence of refinement. You are no longer who you were, yet you have never been more yourself. Chosen one, don't rush the process. Fire is patient, and so is God. What he begins, he finishes. The heat won't last forever, but the purity it produces will. The world is not waiting for your comfort, it's waiting for your clarity. When you emerge from this season, people won't understand the glow that surrounds you. They'll see the fire in your eyes and wonder where it came from. But you'll know it came from every trial you survived. Refinement isn't beautiful while it's happening. It feels like confusion, exhaustion, and silence. But in the silence, something sacred is being shaped. You are learning to listen for heaven's whispers instead of earthly applause. You are learning to find peace without proof, to stand when logic says to fall. The valley of refining is where your heart learns to beat with heaven's rhythm. It is where your tears turn into prayers and your prayers turn into power. It is where you realize that nothing external can define the worth of someone who carries eternal fire inside. And when the refining is complete, you won't emerge as the same person who entered the flames, and you will walk out radiant, steady, and anointed, marked not by the scars of what you endured, but by the glow of what you became. So stand firm, even as the embers glow around your feet. The fire may roar, but it recognizes you. You have been chosen for refinement, and what survives the flame is always stronger than what entered it. There comes a moment when the fog begins to lift, and suddenly, everything you've endured starts to make sense. It happens quietly, not in lightning or thunder, but in stillness. One day you look back, and what once felt like chaos now appears as orchestration. You begin to see the pattern behind your pain, the divine fingerprints pressed into every disappointment, every detour, every delay. This is the moment of recognition, the sacred unveiling of heaven's design in your story. Chosen one, you are standing in that moment now. The fragments are aligning, the pieces finding their place. What once seemed random begins to sing with purpose. Every rejection that broke your heart was redirecting your steps. Every loss that emptied your hands was clearing room for what could finally stay. You start to see that what looked like endings were actually disguised beginnings. Recognition does not come to the unprepared. It comes to those who have been through fire and did not curse it. You have walked through storms, through silence, through the crushing weight of not knowing. And still, you stand. That is why heaven is now opening your eyes. You were blind for a season because seeing too soon would have frightened you. Understanding before endurance would have made you proud, not pure. So God hid the reason until you were ready for revelation. You remember the tears, don't you? The nights when you begged heaven for clarity. And now, in a moment of stillness, understanding descends like gentle rain. It's not loud, it's liberating. You realize that God was not ignoring you. He was preparing you. He was aligning you with something far greater than you imagined. The Spirit spoke through the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done. The saving of many lives. That single verse holds the essence of divine reversal. What was meant to destroy you became the very force that defined you. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment. Every disappointment deepened your dependence. Every valley you walked through became a classroom of faith. You now understand that pain was never wasted, it was translated into purpose. Recognition comes with peace, not pride. You no longer need to prove yourself because you understand that destiny has always been your defense. You no longer chase validation because you realize that heaven's approval outweighs man's applause. You stop trying to fix what broke you and start thanking God for using it to form you. That's the shift, the awakening of spiritual sight. Now, when storms come, you no longer panic. You pause, you listen, because you know that the same God who led you through the fire is still guiding you through the wind. You've learned to trust timing, to respect silence, to surrender control. You have become fluent in the language of waiting, understanding that every delay hides divine intention. You look back and see how certain doors closed just before disaster could strike. You remember how isolation forced you to hear God's voice clearly. You recall how pain emptied you of pride and filled you with compassion. Every season, every struggle, every sigh woven together into a tapestry of redemption. Recognition turns regret into gratitude. You stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start saying, "Thank you for choosing me to walk through it." You understand that purpose does not protect you from pain, it transforms it. You were not being punished. You were being positioned. Now, clarity becomes your comfort. You finally understand why you had to be hidden for a time, why certain people left, why certain dreams failed, why certain prayers remained unanswered. It all makes sense now, not through logic, but through revelation. Chosen one. This moment of recognition is holy. It's the space where gratitude replaces grief. You no longer need everything to be fixed. You simply need to see how God was in it all. The same fire that tested you has illuminated your path. The same wounds that once bled have become windows through which His glory shines. Do you feel it? The quiet assurance that everything was worth it, that's the peace of recognition the moment your soul exhales, knowing it was never abandoned, never forgotten, never outside of divine orchestration. You are not who you were before the fire. You are wiser, softer, stronger. You have walked through darkness and discovered that light was always within you. The recognition of purpose doesn't erase the scars, it anoints them. And now, those scars tell the story of a chosen one who endured, who learned, and who finally understood. Everything you went through was necessary. Nothing was wasted. Every wound had meaning. Every silence had sound. And now, as revelation settles in your heart, you finally see the truth. God was in it all. Every step, every breath, every battle. You are standing between heaven and earth, an intersection of the seen and the unseen. The air feels different here, doesn't it? The atmosphere around you trembles, as if creation itself recognizes what you carry. You are not just living in this world. You are bridging two realms. Every time you pray, heaven leans closer to earth. Every time you speak truth, eternity touches time. You are the living connection between the divine and the human. Chosen one. This realization changes everything. You begin to see that your life is not ordinary. You are an instrument through which heaven moves. You are a messenger wrapped in flesh, a divine conduit disguised as a person. That's why the spiritual warfare around you has always been intense, because where heaven's flow meets earth's resistance, there is friction. There are moments when you feel stretched, pulled between two realities. Your spirit longs for heaven, but your feet remain on earth. You feel the weight of burdens that aren't yours, the cries of those who cannot see, the ache of a world that doesn't yet know the light. You wonder why your sensitivity feels like suffering, but that sensitivity is your strength. You are a vessel built for intercession, a bridge that carries grace across impossible gaps. When you worship, light flows through you. When you forgive, barriers crumble in unseen places. When you love despite betrayal, angels take notice. Every act of obedience, every whisper of faith sends ripples through both realms. You are not powerless, you are a carrier of divine authority. The ancient words recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. You carry light that darkness cannot comprehend. The world may try to dim it, but it cannot destroy it. You are illumination wrapped in humanity. The more the shadows press in, the brighter you become. This is why your presence unsettles the atmosphere wherever you go. It's not arrogance, it's anointing. The darkness recognizes the power within you before you even speak. When you walk into a room, unseen forces adjust. Heaven follows you. Every step you take carries the weight of divine purpose. The enemy knows that if you ever truly realize who you are, his schemes crumble. So he tries to keep you distracted by fear, by noise, by the chaos of life. But your awakening has already begun. You are becoming conscious of your role as heaven's bridge, and once that realization takes root, you become unstoppable. Standing between heaven and earth is not easy. It requires balance, humility, and endurance. You feel the pain of both realms, the ache of the human heart and the yearning of the divine. But that tension is holy. It is proof that you were built to carry more than comfort. You were built to carry glory. Sometimes this calling feels like loneliness. Others don't understand why you feel things so deeply, why you cry for people you've never met, why silence sometimes feels like home. But heaven understands. The Spirit groans through you, interceding in ways words cannot express. That heaviness you feel is not depression, it's compassion clothed in divine assignment. Chosen one, you are not lost between heaven and earth. You are stationed there. You stand as a watchtower, an intercessor, a guardian of light. When you speak, your words travel farther than sound, they echo through eternity. When you love, it heals unseen wounds in others. You are doing heaven's work even when you don't realize it. So the next time the weight feels unbearable, remember this truth: bridges carry weight because they connect worlds. Your burden is not punishment, it is privilege. The strength you feel draining from you will be replenished by divine flow. You are not meant to carry it alone. The one who called you stands beside you, strengthening your shoulders. In the quiet hours of the night, when your soul feels stretched thin, close your eyes and listen. Heaven hums through your heartbeat. Every inhale pulls in grace. Every exhale releases power. You are not separate from heaven, you are its extension. You are the place where eternity and humanity meet. Now, let this truth settle deep in your spirit. You are a bridge of light, a living testimony that heaven still touches earth. And if this word resonates in your soul, write "I stand firm" in the comments. Let it be your declaration that you will not collapse under the weight of your calling. Say it as a vow, a spiritual affirmation that no matter how heavy the burden, you will remain steady, anchored between heaven's glory and earth's need. For that is who you are, the one chosen to stand where few can, the one trusted to hold heaven and earth together in faith, light, and unwavering love. The clash of kingdoms does not happen somewhere far away, it unfolds within you. Every day, your heart becomes a battlefield between light and darkness, obedience and rebellion, faith and fear. You feel it, don't you? The constant pull between your divine nature and your human impulses. Heaven calls you higher, while the world whispers for you to settle. Yet even in the tension, You are proof that God still reigns in the hearts of men. This inner war is sacred. It is the mark of the chosen, the evidence that you have something worth fighting for. The greater your purpose, the louder the conflict. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, truth over comfort, faith over logic, you are waging holy war. The clash isn't about victory, it's about allegiance. Who will you allow to shape your thoughts, your choices, your destiny? Sometimes the battle comes not as thunder, but as fatigue. A slow weariness that makes you question if your light still matters. But look closer. Chosen one. Even a candle can hold back the night. Even a whisper of prayer can shift eternity. The smallest act of obedience carries more weight in the spirit realm than you realize. The voice of heaven echoes through the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. That is not just a promise, it's a decree. The weapons may form, but they will fail. The accusations may rise, but they will fall silent. The light within you is shielded by divine authority. You do not fight alone. You fight backed by heaven's armies. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse on a stormy shore. Waves crash, winds roar, but still your light stands unbroken. Ships lost in darkness find their way because you refuse to go dark. That's what your presence does in this world. It guides others safely through their storms. Even when you feel unseen, your light is saving lives you may never meet. You may not wear armor or wield a sword, but your faith is a weapon sharper than steel. Your worship is your war cry. Every time you lift your voice in praise despite pain, heaven thunders in agreement. Angels rally. Darkness retreats. You don't just survive battles, you shift them. And as you stand in this divine conflict, remember, even warriors need rest. Even lighthouses need maintenance. Allow yourself to breathe. Take care of the vessel that carries the message. The war is not won through exhaustion, but through endurance. You are not called to burn out. You are called to burn bright. When you listen to messages like this, when the words reach deep into your heart, it's not entertainment. It's equipping. Each word is a spark that fuels the flame inside you. And when that flame grows stronger, it lights paths for others lost in shadow. So if this light is helping you stand in your own war, consider how you might keep it shining. When you like, share, or subscribe, you aren't boosting a video, you're spreading armor. You're letting another weary soul find hope at when they're scrolling in silence and God whispers through the screen, you are not done yet. If you feel moved to give, let your donation be a seed planted in this mission, a quiet offering that says, let the message keep reaching the broken. Every seed, no matter the size, becomes fuel for the light. You're not giving to a person, you're partnering with purpose. You're helping this voice keep standing in the storm so it can keep reminding others that they are not forgotten. Think of it like a torch passed from hand to hand. One spark becomes two, two become 10, and soon a wildfire of faith burns across the world. That's what happens when you give not money alone, but participation in divine warfare. You become part of heaven's resistance against despair. Chosen one. This clash of kingdoms is not meant to frighten you, it's meant to awaken you. The fact that you feel the battle means you are still in it, still standing, still fighting for light. And though the war rages, remember this. Every sunrise is proof that darkness never wins. You are not the victim of the battle. You are the vessel through which victory flows. So lift your eyes, steady your heart, and let your light keep shining. For as long as you stand, heaven still has a foothold on earth. there comes a time when you begin to understand that being chosen is not about favor, it is about covenant. To be chosen is not simply to be blessed, it is to be bound by sacred responsibility. You are not just loved by heaven, you are trusted by it. The covenant of the called is not written in ink but in endurance, not signed by words but sealed in wounds. It is a vow that heaven makes with those willing to carry weight few others can bear. Chosen one, you have felt this covenant in your bones. Every time you wanted to quit but couldn't. Every time you fell but somehow found strength to rise again, that was covenant holding you. It wasn't your willpower, it was divine tethering. The invisible thread between you and heaven has never broken, even when your faith trembled. Being chosen means surrendering the illusion of control. It means understanding that your life is not your own. You are a vessel, a message, a walking manifestation of mercy. That is why certain things don't work for you the way they do for others. Where others can compromise and still find peace, you cannot. Where others can wander freely, you feel the pull of conviction. It's not restriction, it's protection. The covenant of the called is a two-way promise. God promises His presence, but He also requires your obedience. Not out of tyranny, but out of trust. He knows that what you carry cannot be released through comfort, it must be birthed through sacrifice. The higher the calling, the narrower the path. The Spirit declared in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the peoples on the face of the earth to be His people, His treasured possession. Let those words settle deep into your heart. You are not common property, you are a divine possession. You were not chosen because you were perfect, you were chosen because you were willing. Heaven saw something in you that time could not erase. Before you could even speak His name, He had already whispered yours. And yet, covenant costs. To be chosen is to be refined, disciplined, stretched beyond comfort. You will be misunderstood by those who do not share your calling. You will feel isolated at times, not because you are abandoned, but because the noise of the crowd cannot dwell in the sanctuary of destiny. Every true covenant requires separation. Abraham had to leave his home. Moses had to flee into the wilderness. Even Jesus had to retreat to solitary places to pray. Solitude is the currency of the chosen. You may look around and wonder why your path seems harder, why the journey feels longer, why others seem to receive blessings easily while yours come through tears. It is because you are not walking in ordinary favor, you are walking in covenant purpose. You are being trusted with something eternal, something that will outlive you. The covenant rewrites your desires. What once satisfied you no longer does. You start to crave purity instead of popularity, purpose instead of comfort. You stop asking, "What do I want?" and start asking, "What does heaven need from me?" That shift is the sign of maturity. It is how you know the covenant is active within you. Sometimes covenant feels heavy. You will feel the weight of responsibility pressing on your shoulders. But remember, God never places a crown on a head He has not first taught to bow. The pressure you feel is not punishment, it's preparation for authority. Every no from heaven is shaping you for a bigger yes. Covenant doesn't guarantee an easy life, it guarantees a meaningful one. The struggles you face are not random. They are sacred tests designed to reveal your endurance. You are being strengthened not just for your own sake, but for the generations that will come after you. Your obedience will break curses you never saw. Your faith will open doors for people you may never meet. That's what covenant does, it ripples through time. Chosen one. You carry more than calling, you carry covenant. It is the unseen promise written into your spirit that reminds you, even in the dark, you are not alone. Heaven is bound to you. When you fall, grace catches you. When you rise, glory surrounds you. So walk carefully but boldly. Live humbly, but with holy confidence. You are not wandering, you are walking under covenant light. And though the world may never fully understand what you bear, heaven watches with pride, whispering, "There goes my chosen vessel, faithful, refined, unbreakable." There always comes a crossroads in every chosen one's journey, a sacred intersection where destiny demands decision. You can feel it even now. Can't you, that tightening in your chest, that pull between comfort and calling? You have reached the place where heaven no longer whispers, it waits. The season of delay has expired. What was once preparation has become invitation. And now, the question lingers in the air, will you obey? You've heard the call before. Softly at first, then louder through circumstances, heartbreak, or divine disruption. It came through closed doors, through opportunities that slipped away, through the sudden silence that forced you inward. Each moment was heaven drawing a line in the sand, asking, which kingdom will you serve? Destiny never forces, it invites. God will not drag you into your purpose. He will call you, prepare you, position you, but the final step belongs to you. Every chosen one must face the moment of surrender, where you either cling to the familiar or step into the unknown. The bridge is built, but heaven waits for your foot to touch it. Chosen one, this is that moment. You have prayed for clarity, but now heaven is asking for courage. You have prayed for confirmation, but the signs have already surrounded you. This isn't confusion, it's conviction. You are not being tested for information. You are being tested for transformation. The Spirit declares in the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Those ancient words are not just history, they are prophecy. The same divine ultimatum that Joshua declared now stands before you. It is not about religion. It's about reign. It's not about attendance. It's about allegiance. Whom will you serve, fear or faith, comfort or calling? The crowd or the cross? You have spent years being shaped by trials, and now those trials are demanding fruit. This is the hour where words are no longer enough. Heaven does not need your promises, it needs your participation. You have been anointed for action. The oil on your life was never meant to sit still, it was meant to flow. But obedience is costly. It will ask for your pride, the sun, your plans, your need for control. It will ask you to walk away from what feels safe and into what feels uncertain. Yet that is the beauty of surrender. You lose what was temporary to gain what is eternal. The unknown you fear is already familiar to God. He has walked ahead of you, clearing paths you can't yet see. You may hesitate. You may feel unworthy, unready, unqualified. But remember, heaven never calls the equipped. It equips the called. Your willingness is your weapon. Your surrender is your strength. When you finally say yes, everything around you begins to shift, doors open, chains break, alignment happens. Because the moment a chosen one decides to obey, all of heaven moves in response. This is your threshold, your defining choice. It will not come with trumpets or thunder, but with quiet resolve. The world will keep spinning, unaware that something eternal has just occurred, but heaven will stand in silence, watching as your destiny unfolds. There will be temptations to delay, to say, "I'll obey later." But every postponement strengthens the chains you were meant to break. Do not wait for a better moment. This is the moment. The window is open, but it will not stay open forever. The same God who called you in mercy will one day require accountability for that call. Chosen one, do not mistake conviction for coincidence. What you are feeling now, the trembling, the burning, the stirring, is heaven's signal. It is divine urgency wrapped in compassion, not to scare you, but to awaken you. The longer you hesitate, the louder the silence becomes. If your heart is racing, it's because your spirit recognizes this moment. This is not pressure, it's prophecy. You are standing at the doorway of destiny, and all it takes is your yes. So as a prophetic act of surrender, type 444 in the comments. Let that number be your declaration of divine alignment, body omu, mind and spirit moving as one with heaven's will. By writing it, you are saying, I choose obedience over hesitation. I choose purpose over fear. Let your comment be a covenant, your symbol that today you stepped into your calling. Heaven is not waiting for perfection, it's waiting for permission. And once you give it, the floodgates of destiny will open, and nothing on earth or in hell will be able to stop what begins to move through you. There comes a moment when the waiting ends and the mantle descends. You can feel the weight of it not as a burden, but as a holy covering. Something invisible yet undeniable begins to rest upon you. It is not merely a feeling, it is a transfer. The anointing that has hovered above your life now chooses to dwell within it. Heaven no longer whispers someday, it declares now, chosen one. This is the moment everything changes. You no longer just believe in your purpose, you begin to carry it. The mantle is heaven's mark of authorization, divine permission to walk in power, to speak with authority, to stand as one who has been sent. It is the unseen cloak of destiny that wraps around you the moment obedience meets timing. The mantle does not fall on the comfortable. It falls on the broken, the obedient, the refined. It chooses the ones who have been crushed by surrender and yet remain faithful in silence. You cannot earn it with talent, charisma, or effort. The mantle comes only to those who have been emptied enough to hold it. When the mantle descends, something shifts in the spiritual atmosphere. The words you speak begin to carry weight. Your prayers travel faster. Your presence itself becomes warfare. The same rooms that once ignored you now feel your authority before you even enter. You are no longer just surviving, you are stewarding heaven's assignment. The Spirit reveals through the second book of Kings to chapter 2, verse 15. When the sons of the prophets who were watching saw him, they said, "The spirit of Elijah rests on Elisha." And they came to meet him and bowed to the ground before him. That verse isn't just history, it's your reflection. Like Elisha, you stood faithfully in the shadows of preparation. You endured seasons where nothing seemed to move, where you served quietly, unseen, uncelebrated. But heaven saw you waiting by the Jordan, unwilling to leave, unwilling to quit, and now the mantle has found you. It comes suddenly, yet it was always destined. You may not feel ready, but heaven is certain. The oil of your calling begins to flow, and everything ordinary about your life becomes extraordinary. The places that once confined you now become your mission field. The conversations you once avoided now carry divine strategy. Even your silence begins to speak. But with the mantle comes responsibility. It will test your character more than your capability. You will feel the weight of compassion for people you do not know. You will wake in the night sensing burdens that aren't your own. That's because the mantle expands your heart. It makes you an intercessor, a voice, a vessel. It will demand that you love even when you are misunderstood, that you forgive even when betrayed, that you keep walking even when weary. The mantle is not glamorous. It is glorious. It doesn't elevate you, it humbles you. It reminds you that the power flowing through you does not belong to you. You are not the source, you are the channel. You become the conduit through which heaven touches earth. That realization keeps you anchored when the world begins to notice the light you carry. Those who are mantled cannot live like everyone else. The Spirit will restrain you from things that may seem harmless to others. It will pull you away from distractions, from conversations, from environments that dull your discernment. At times you will feel the isolation again, but this time it will be sacred separation, not painful rejection. You'll find that the mantle changes how you see everything. You begin to recognize spiritual patterns, divine timings, hidden meanings behind daily events. The Spirit teaches you how to move strategically, to speak when heaven speaks, and to stay silent when heaven listens. You start to realize that your life is no longer about you, it's about legacy, impact, eternity. When the mantle rests upon you, you also inherit heaven's enemies. Darkness will notice your rise, but it will also bow to your authority. You don't need to fight harder, you simply need to stand taller. Your presence becomes a reminder to every opposing power that light has taken territory. Chosen one, this is not the end of your story, it is the ignition of your assignment. The mantle is proof that everything you suffered had meaning. Every heartbreak, every delay, every hidden year, it all built the strength to carry this weight. You were being trained for this moment long before you realized it. Now, you walk not as the one waiting for validation, but as the one heaven has validated. You are mantled not for recognition, but for restoration. You carry power not for display, but for deliverance. The world will not understand the transformation, but heaven celebrates it. You have become a living testimony that obedience invites anointing, and surrender births authority. The mantle has descended, and nothing will ever be the same. After the mantle descends, heaven does something unexpected. It calls for silence. The noise of battle fades, the rush of purpose slows, and you find yourself standing in a sacred stillness. This is not inactivity, it is incubation. Before every great sending, there is always a pause. Even the most anointed must learn to rest beneath divine restraint. Chosen one, this silence is not punishment, it is preservation. God is protecting what has just been placed within you. The mantle you now carry is delicate in its early stage, like new wine. It must settle before it is poured. The silence that surrounds you is heaven's way of securing your strength, teaching you how to walk with wisdom before releasing you into warfare again. At first, the quiet can feel confusing. You may wonder if you've done something wrong, if perhaps you've lost your fire. But stillness is not absence, it is alignment. When heaven stops speaking loudly, it's because it is waiting for you to learn how to hear softly. In this season, whispers replace shouts, and impressions replace instructions. You are learning how to move with the rhythm of grace, not the rush of pressure. The Word of God declares in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay." That is the essence of this holy pause. The vision has not vanished, it is simply maturing. You are not forgotten, you are being fine-tuned. Heaven is refining your discernment, expanding your capacity, and strengthening your endurance. For what comes next will require not just passion, but precision. During this silence, God teaches you how to separate movement from momentum. Not every open door is divine, and not every opportunity deserves your obedience. The silence trains your spirit to recognize the difference between what looks good and what is God. It is in this waiting that you learn to see beyond appearances, to hear beyond noise, to act from revelation instead of reaction. The silence before the sending also exposes your heart. It reveals whether you were chasing the mission or the maker. When the applause fades, when the crowd disappears, when there is no confirmation, will you still remain faithful? This is the proving ground of intimacy. God watches to see if you still seek Him when there's nothing to receive. That is where true power is born. Chosen one, you may be in the most hidden part of your journey right now, but don't mistake hiddenness for idleness. Seeds are always silent before they sprout. The unseen roots are growing deeper so that the fruit can last longer. What you perceive as stillness is actually sacred construction. Heaven is building infrastructure within you strong enough to carry the next wave of purpose. In this season, you may feel the pull to act prematurely. You might sense opportunities that seem good but not quite right. Resist the urge to move before heaven says go. Premature movement can destroy what patient preparation could sustain. God's timing may stretch your faith, but it will never fail your purpose. This quiet season also teaches humility. You are learning that not every revelation must be shared. Not every victory must be announced. Some things are meant to be treasured in your heart until the appointed time. Even Jesus, after miracles, often withdrew to solitary places to pray. He understood that the power of a moment comes not just from action but from abiding. Let this silence cleanse your motives. Allow it to strip away any trace of ego or ambition. You are not called to perform, you are called to embody. The presence you carry is not a show, it's a stewardship. Heaven trusts you with influence only when your heart is anchored in stillness. And so, as the world rushes, you remain still. While others chase visibility, you pursue vision. While they seek platforms, you seek presence. For you have learned that silence is not the absence of movement, it is the birthplace of direction. When the time comes, the silence will break. The same God who called you to pause will release you again with greater authority, greater clarity, and greater love. You will move with ease because you have learned to wait with reverence. The voice that once seemed distant will again roar like thunder, sending you forth as one who has been both seasoned and sanctified by stillness. Chosen one, cherish this silence. It is the breath before the breakthrough, the calm before the commission. The quiet is not your exile, it is your empowerment. For soon, heaven will whisper your next command, and when it does, you will move not with uncertainty but with unstoppable purpose. The journey has not been easy, chosen one. You have walked through shadows, stood in silence, endured refining fire, and still you rise. Now heaven watches as you approach a sacred moment, the crowning of the overcomer. This is not a crown made of gold or glory. It is the unseen crown of endurance, purity, and victory. It is the mark of one who refused to bow to fear, who stayed faithful when it would have been easier to flee. The crown is not placed on your head by human hands. It is lowered by unseen angels, shaped from your tears and polished by your persistence. Every scar you carry becomes a jewel, every trial a thread in its design. The moment you refused to quit was the moment the crown began to form. You may not have noticed the transformation, but heaven did. The person who once trembled in the valley now walks like a warrior. The heart that once broke beneath the weight of loss now beats with authority. You have been crowned not because life was easy, but because you endured what others could not. As revealed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. That is your promise. The crown of righteousness is not merely a reward, it is recognition. It marks those who have finished the race, who have kept the faith, who refuse to surrender to despair. The same hands that shaped your pain are the hands that now place honor upon your spirit. You are not who you were when this began. You have been refined, recalibrated, and redefined. The crowning does not make you superior, it makes you responsible. It calls you to lead with compassion, to speak with grace, to walk in wisdom. The crown is not a trophy. It is a trust. Heaven places it upon those who can carry it with humility. So, chosen one, as you stand beneath heaven's gaze, I wear your crown quietly. Let your actions speak louder than your victories. Let your peace be your power. The world does not need another loud leader. It needs quiet strength, unshakable faith, and consistent love, the kind you now carry. Your journey is far from over, but something within you has shifted forever. You no longer chase validation. You radiate conviction. You no longer beg for belonging. You walk as one who knows where they come from. The crown reminds you daily that you have already won, not by dominance, but by endurance. And if this message touches something deep in your spirit, pause here for a moment. Breathe. Reflect on how far you've come, how many battles you've survived, how many prayers carried you to this moment. Then, share that light. When you like, share, or subscribe, do it not as a routine but as recognition. Every click becomes a ripple of encouragement, a small spark that might ignite hope in someone standing where you once stood. Perhaps a weary soul scrolling through darkness tonight will see your comment and realize they are not alone. So go ahead, comment your reflection below. Tell what this journey means to you. Your words might be the rope someone else needs to climb out of their valley. You may never see their face, but heaven will. That's what community looks like in the kingdom, light reaching light, one heart at a time. You have been crowned not for isolation, but for influence. Your crown is a signal fire, a testament that survival was never the end goal. Transformation was. So lift your head. Let your spirit breathe again. You wear proof that God finishes what He starts. And as you move forward, remember this crown is not fragile. It will not tarnish or fade. It was forged in the furnace and sealed in faith. Wherever you go, it goes with you, shining quietly, reminding the darkness that you overcame. Every decision you make from this point forward carries eternal weight. Once you have been crowned, every step becomes sacred. Every choice becomes echo. The ripple of obedience is real. It travels farther than you can see. Heaven does not measure greatness by numbers or applause, but by faithfulness in small things. You may think what you are doing is insignificant, but in eternity, every obedient act becomes a wave that touches lives you will never meet. Chosen one, the ripple begins with you. It begins in the quiet yes that no one else hears, in the unseen prayer whispered when no one is watching, in the mercy you extend when bitterness would be easier. Obedience is not dramatic, it is deliberate. It is the simple decision to trust even when you don't understand. It's choosing to stay when leaving would be easier, to love when anger feels justified, to give when lack surrounds you. Every act of obedience aligns heaven and earth for someone else. You never know who might be standing downstream, waiting for the ripple of your faith to reach them. Maybe it's a stranger who will find courage because of your testimony. Maybe it's a child who will grow up in light because you broke a generational curse. Maybe it's a nation that will experience revival because you chose to pray instead of complain. Nothing is wasted in the economy of heaven. The Spirit reveals through the book of Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. That verse is both comfort and command. It reminds you that though obedience may look small, it produces supernatural harvests. Sometimes the seeds you plant today won't bloom in your lifetime, but heaven records them all. Every moment of surrender adds to a legacy that time cannot erase. Obedience is rarely easy because it always confronts comfort. You will be tempted to measure your worth by visible results, but God measures it by unseen roots. The deeper your obedience, the stronger your influence. Many talk about anointing, but few understand that it grows through quiet consistency. The ripple of obedience is not a single wave, it is a lifetime of steady surrender. Sometimes you will obey and see immediate fruit. Other times, you will obey and experience silence. But silence does not mean stillness. The water may look calm on the surface, yet beneath it, waves are forming, spreading outward, touching shores you cannot see. Heaven often hides the results of your obedience to protect your humility. If you saw how far your faith traveled, pride might try to claim the glory. Chosen one, you must learn to trust that obedience is its own reward. You are not working for applause, you are moving in alignment. You are tuning your life to the frequency of heaven so that when God speaks, the world around you responds. Even your smallest acts of kindness are writing invisible testimonies that heaven reads with joy. Think of a stone dropped into water. The ripples spread wider with each circle, yet the stone itself disappears beneath the surface. That's what obedience looks like, hidden, humble, yet powerful. You may never be remembered by name, but the impact of your faith will outlive your days. Someone's freedom, someone's salvation, someone's healing may begin with your unseen yes. Every obedient soul becomes a lighthouse for others still lost in the storm. Without saying a word, your life begins to preach a sermon written not in speech, but in endurance. You become the evidence that faith still works, that integrity still matters, that love still wins. This is how heaven multiplies influence, not through fame, but through faithfulness. Every ripple of obedience connects with another until oceans of grace begin to move. You may never know it, but there are people on the other side of your obedience right now thanking God for your existence. And one day, when your story is complete and you stand before the throne, you'll see the full picture. You'll meet souls who were touched by your prayers, families restored because you stayed faithful, lives transformed because you obeyed even when it cost you. Then you'll realize it was never about size or stage, it was always about surrender. So keep walking, keep trusting, keep obeying. Your obedience is not just shaping your destiny, it is awakening destinies in others. The ripple has already begun, and it will not stop with you. Heaven designed your life to move like living water flowing, cleansing, unstoppable. Chosen one, never underestimate the quiet power of your yes. What feels small today is already shaking eternity. And now, chosen one, you stand at the place where destiny no longer feels like pursuit but presence. What once seemed distant has unfolded before you. The long road, the tears, the prayers, the silence, all of it has brought you here, to the moment where purpose and promise finally meet. You do not have to chase what was always written for you, you simply have to become it. Destiny fulfilled is not a destination. It is a revelation of identity. For years, you have carried the tension between what was spoken over you and what you could see in front of you. That tension was never punishment, it was gestation. Destiny had to mature inside you before it could manifest around you. You were not waiting on God. God was waiting on you to recognize what He had already placed within. Now, You begin to walk differently, not out of striving, but out of certainty. You no longer pray as one begging for direction, but as one aligned with divine rhythm. You move with quiet confidence, knowing heaven's wind is behind you. The things that once broke you now build you. The fears that once bound you now bow before you. Every fragment of your past has become part of a masterpiece that only eternity could compose. The prophet declared in the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, "My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." That verse reveals the mystery you now live inside. Your end was declared before your beginning. You were never walking toward uncertainty, you were walking through revelation. What you call destiny is simply God's original design becoming visible through your obedience. Every delay was divine choreography. Every detour was recalibration. The path was never lost, it was leading you home. Destiny fulfilled does not mean ease. It means alignment. It means you finally understand the rhythm of heaven and learn to flow with it instead of resisting it. You stop wrestling with when and start walking in why. You no longer need constant confirmation, because peace itself becomes proof. That peace is not fragile, it is fierce. It's the calm of someone who knows that every battle, every bruise, every broken moment was necessary to build eternal strength. You've become a vessel through which heaven moves effortlessly. Your presence now carries the authority of the one who sent you. You no longer need to announce yourself, the atmosphere recognizes you. Where once you felt invisible, now you walk with invisible power. You are not striving to make an impact. Your very existence has become one. The fulfillment of destiny changes how you see others too. You stop comparing journeys because you realize purpose is never competition, it's collaboration. You begin to help others rise, knowing their victory does not diminish yours. You start to live as a multiplier, not a seeker. You plant seeds knowing that you may never see their full bloom, but you sow with joy because you've seen what obedience can birth. Destiny fulfilled is also humility fulfilled. You no longer need to prove anything. You simply are. The strength you carry is quiet but undeniable. The fire within you no longer rages chaotically, it burns steadily, lighting paths for those still in darkness. You have become both testimony and torch, both survivor and sender. Chosen one. Heaven smiles upon you now, not because the journey is over, but because you finally understand it. You no longer run from your past, you redeem it. You no longer fear the future, you forge it. Destiny has stopped being a pursuit and become your pulse. And yet, even now, God whispers something new. This is not the finish line. It is the foundation. Destiny fulfilled is only the beginning of legacy. What you have become will outlive your name, your era, your breath. Every word you spoke in faith continues to ripple through time. Every act of love becomes seed in eternal soil. You were never meant to just reach destiny. You were meant to reveal it. You are living evidence that God's promises do not expire, that divine timing cannot fail, that chosen ones cannot be erased. You are the embodiment of every prayer you ever whispered and every prophecy ever spoken over your life. So walk in it now, not as one waiting for favor, but as one who carries it. You are the fulfillment of divine intention, the visible proof that heaven's counsel stands firm. Destiny did not chase you. It was waiting for you to awaken. And now, at last, you have become what was written. Beloved chosen one. Before this message closes, pause and breathe. Let the journey you've walked through these words echo in your spirit. You have listened, reflected, and remembered who you are, divinely chosen, refined, and released for purpose. Heaven itself has witnessed your awakening, and every step forward from here carries eternal resonance. If these words have stirred something holy within you, let them not remain silent. Share them not just through words, but through action. When you like, share, or subscribe, you are not engaging with a screen. You are extending the sound of heaven's call. Every small act sends this light further, reaching someone who might be standing in the same darkness you once stood in. You become a vessel through which hope travels. And when you leave your comment, let it come from your heart. Write what this journey has meant to you. What line spoke to your soul? What moment made you pause and feel seen? Your words could be the bridge for another weary soul searching for confirmation that God still speaks. You never know who might find healing through what you write. This is not about numbers, it's about names heaven already knows. People heaven is still reaching through you. Your engagement becomes ministry, your participation becomes light. Each like is a whisper saying, I receive this truth. Each share is a torch passed to another heart in need. Each subscription is a covenant that says, I want to keep walking in this divine flow. So, chosen one, don't let the flame stop here. Carry it forward, spread it with grace, comment your reflection below, share it where it might heal another, and stay connected, together. We will continue to awaken the world one obedient heart at a time. You are not just hearing the message, you are becoming it.